Life in a world that keeps changing. Think that it's progress you're making. Copy and paste pretty faces all the time. Pictures so perfect we play.
Hello everyone, welcome to Anointed Lady TV, the home of news and politics. If it is your first time in this channel, you are highly welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you like what we do on this channel, hit on the subscribe button, also put on the notification bell so you'll be notified by YouTube anytime we drop a new video. And if you are returning subscribers, thank you very much for always coming back to watch our videos. On this platform, we drop videos every day and we react to every video that come our way. And on this very video, I will be watching with you. And after watching, let's go to the comment section and drop our opinion constructively. Like our videos and also share our videos if possible. See you next time in my next video.
So I just wanted to jump on that. For the fact that we know, as Nigerian politicians, that if you win, you will go to court. And if you have the best lawyer, you argue it in your favor, win first. Does it make it right? If we are sounding off on that, that means, what it means is that we are officially opening the doors of injustice. Because you see, when people do things with dignity, it is because they have a moral compass, not because they do not know that they can do otherwise. So if the average Nigerian political class thinks as long as I can get my way at the polls, not doing things the way they ought to be done, and we argue it under the courts, what kind of nation are we? Something yesterday, see, we keep building concentric cycles of hurts. And the fact is, it comes back to haunt you, one way or the other. The laws are the guidelines are there. I am happy, Dr. Abati, quoted Section 160 of the Constitution with that proviso. It wasn't there before, but I think it was under President Goodluck Jonathan that proviso was deliberately put in there. As regards Inec, stated expressly, having the powers to be able to make its own laws without the approval of the president.
The section says to regulate its own
procedures without the approval of the president. Without the approval. It can regulate its own procedure, regulate itself without the approval. So when people argue that our guidelines, laws, but Section 160 has said Inec can make its own laws. It doesn't even need the president. And when they argue, what are guidelines? Please, are your Google guideline, your Oxford dictionary, or Cambridge dictionary, or whatever dictionary. Let's look at it there.
A literal definition of guidelines.
Guidelines are general rules. Let me even check it out. Because you see, when we are talking, let's talk emphatically and let's talk with facts. Let's fact check each other. It says guidelines here, the dictionary definition says a general rule, principle, or piece of advice. A general rule, principle, or piece of advice. If people are now arguing that is guideline in law, I want to ask, please, if guidelines is not a law, then why do we even need to collect the results in the first place? Why do we even need to announce the results first at the polling unit?
The guideline is a subsidiary legislation.
Yes.
Given the force of law.
Yes.
Section 160
of the Constitution.
And Section 148 of the Electoral Act.
Thank you for hitting it on the head. That's it. No, I'm even saying for people that are making the street argument that is guideline a law. So if guideline is not a law, why was all the procedures laid down there followed? And can I ask, why was it? It was only the most critical procedure that was not followed by Inec. Why was it the most critical procedure that will reinforce the hope and trust of people in the process that wasn't followed by Inec? We've been able to establish that the guideline is a law. The question is, did INEC break its own law? Yes, you see, in the spirit of sounding politically correct, because people have bias and partisan exigencies, we should never forget that our country comes first.
Yeah.
And they are doing it now. If it favors you, you shout triumphalism. But when it's done against you, we shout otherwise. And that's why I asked the question, have we truly with this election built a country where peace and justice shall reign? But if we have not, until then it's a case of hashtag Victoria Sempre. Because until then we need to keep pushing for it. We've been able to establish, according to section 160 of the Constitution, with a proviso that says INEC can make its own laws. We need no approval of the president. So for those that argue, it's the guideline law, it is a law. That's why it was so important that the guideline, even itself, had to be codified. It wasn't just passed down like oral history. It was written down. And also, I'm happy people are talking about the 25%. Dr. Batsi, it's good you raised the case of 1979. In the electoral decree, then, it pretty much talked about 1/4 of 2/3 of 19 states. There was no and FCT. There was no and FCT. The question is, didn't our country have a federal capital territory there? And the framers of the Constitution, the spirit about that spread is simply because that if the FCT is a melting pot, a condensation of every Nigerian, you should be able to get a sizable 1/4 spread to show your affirmation in the federal capital territory. See, America has something they call electoral college. Their electoral college is the spread of numbers allotted to states based on the size. Our own sort of electoral college, please, I'm not saying Nigeria has electoral college, don't misquote me, is our own spread. That is not just the majority votes, but you need to have a spread. And in this constitution, it said 2/3 and FCT. And FCT. Not including FCT.
So what you're expressing, Rufai, is...
It's the duty of the Supreme Court to
explain.
interpret.
To interpret.
You know, they are beyond the rules of interpretation. It's the duty of the court to interpret what and means, whether it's conjunctive or it is disjunctive. But the point about all of this, when we keep quoting what the law says and all that, Section 149 of the Electoral Act 2022 settles the matter.
Which was why I sent for my copy. That section.
Don't worry.
No, that section. No,
what it says.
No, I wanted to reference that section. That's what I'm telling you.
What that section says is that in the event of non-compliance by INEC with either its guidelines or all the other provisions of this Electoral Act 2022, the only option available to aggrieved persons is to go to court. And that's why the president and the international community, particularly the West African Elders Forum Observation Mission, led by President Mahama of Ghana, convened by President Jonathan of Nigeria, says, look, anybody who is aggrieved should go to court. But when I made the point that if you go to, it's better for you to win first, and then you go to allow the aggrieved persons to go to court. That's realpolitik. You can raise issues of justice, of morality, and all that. But at least, Nigerian politicians are very pragmatic. And perhaps Bola Tinubu is one of the most pragmatic that we have seen. Win first. The man with the best strategy gets to the end of the post. Let others go to court and argue the matter.
I have something to say.
But will justice be done? Who determines justice? How will justice come across? So it's a combination, as I said, of political expediency and also justice.
Yes, the point I want to raise there is that we must also try to elevate our politics.
Yes, now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
that strategy, win first, let your opponent go to court, is a peculiar Nigerian thinking, which means win at all costs.
Use violence. Kill.
Win at all costs.
Rig.
To ensure that you are announced as the winner. And let your opponent go to court. And of course, I don't want to say too much about our courts these days. Because you can be number 4 and become number 1.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, my brothers and sisters, my mummies and my daddies over there. It's your sister again, your doctor, your friend, your girl, Anointed Lady TV. Please, if today is your first time of coming across my YouTube channel, please do subscribe for me. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video, you will be notified. So in this my channel, I will be bringing up many things to you in which you will benefit from it. I do talk show, I do news, anything you want to talk about, I am into it. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So each time I upload any video or each time I'm on live on YouTube, you will be notified. Thank you very much for always being there for me. Please do subscribe for me, and as you do so, God will richly bless you and meet your heart desire. Thank you very much. I love you all.